All right, so we finally made it to the most recent Wage War album that was just released on June 21st. It is
21st.
titled Stigma, 10 songs, 31 minutes. As Justin said, the lineup remains unchanged, which is pretty fucking impressive at this point.
It is.
It is worth noting that there are quite a few co-writes from producer Drew Folk.
Who is he?
If you're not familiar with Drew Folk, he also produced and had some co-writes on the last Beartooth album.
Oh, the very happy album that I
He's a
loved.
very prominent producer right now. He's worked on a lot of stuff that is probably in your rotation right now. If you look him up, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I think as we dive into this album, you'll start to see why that's important information to know.
Okay.
For starters, though, the production on this album is definitely next level, which we'll get into and discuss a little bit as to whether or not that's a good or a bad thing as we go along. First song on this is The Show's About to Start.
It is. It's about to start.
The song, this is definitely a bit odd the first time you hear it. But essentially what the band have done here is created a song to open their live shows, and honestly, it's perfect for that.
Really?
And
For the live show, you don't say.
And as it gets close to the end of the song, Britton sings, "Let's get these bodies moving side to side, wall to wall," before a really cool breakdown comes in. It's a nice little headbanger, but if I'm being honest, it'd be kind of weird to listen. It would be kind of weird to listen to this song outside of the context of the album. It's kind of just an extended intro.
Yeah, so this starts off with like a club pop beat until Britton yells, "The show's about to start." And it kicks up into the chorus, but maintains that electronic club feeling throughout the verses. I was honestly pretty bored with it the first listen until that breakdown with the lyric, which is what you already mentioned. "Let's get these bodies moving side to side, wall to wall." And after a few listens, it really clicked how good of an opening track this is actually going to be live. That's what this was made for. It's made for the live crowd. It's not made for an album. It's made to play live. And it's going to get people hyped. I didn't get it the first listen. I didn't get it the second listen. I probably listened to this album 3, 4, 5 times before it finally fucking clicked. Why they made this song. I think it's going to be great live. I can't wait to hear it live.
Yeah, it's perfect for that. But then when you think about like adding it to a playlist or something, you're like, that'd be fucking
It clashes.
weird.
There's so much
It'd be weird.
clubby, like electronic stuff to it. Like, I don't know.
And it's such a gradual build up. I mean, it's perfect for what it is, but a standalone song? Nah.
The first time I listened to the album, I wanted to skip it. That was my first impression, but I didn't. So.
Yep. So the next song is Self-Sacrifice.
Is it?
This song has got some of the coolest riffing that I've heard in a Wage War song, honestly. It's got a ton of groove to it, like so much so that I could almost imagine Randy Blythe singing over it.
What? I didn't hear that. Anyway,
you need to listen more times.
I've listened quite a few times. The verses are that same electronic sound. It's very Bring Me to the Horizon. Very much so. If you listen to that last album, they're Bring Me to the Horizon. They are adding a lot of that same shit to it. But the choruses are really heavy, and it's got some really cool riffing and fucking cowbell. The majority of the song is heavy, so that makes you forget how boring the first verse of the song actually is.
Magnetic is the next song.
It is. This was the first single, right?
Yep. Here it is in all its glory.
Radio
the
friendly.
Obligatory octane core ballad song. But you know what? This song is so damn good. You can't even be mad at it. Even if you wanted to, you can't be mad at it because it's a good song.
No.
Cody knows how to write hits. If you don't know, he's been doing it for Ronnie Radke for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it's about time he keeps some of these songs for himself.
If you're watching on YouTube, he writes a lot of these fucking songs for this band. But anyways, it's got a super catchy hook. It's very clean. It's very well done. Magnetic is a great single. Good one to pick.
So the next song is Nails.
With a 5 at the end instead of an S.
Somebody might read it as Nail 5, I guess.
Nail 5.
Justin might read it as Nail 5. So this one definitely reminds me of the song Manic from the last album. Although it's just not quite on that level.
No. What?
It is a super cool song.
Are you high?
I really like that song, but
Drunk? Something?
just doesn't have quite the same
Manic?
power.
Manic?
You don't see the comparisons to
No.
Manic?
I don't. This song gets very repetitive, and I started zoning out until the breakdown at the end. It's a heavier track, but there really isn't much depth to this song. It just repeats over and over and over again.
Your mom gets very repetitive, and there's really not much depth to her. She just
Jesus
repeats
fuck.
over and over and over again.
Nice.
So Blur is the most recent single dropped. It actually dropped the day of the album release. This is an example of the album being overproduced to me. It's objectively a good song, I guess, but I really don't like the overuse of the auto-tune and the one-word chorus. Blur, is a little lame to me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like I didn't even write it right in my fucking notes. I wrote it as blue, and I just said it a couple times. Blue.
Blue, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I didn't
ooh,
like. I did not like the song. It's very repetitive. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's not a great song.
It's not good. But Tombstone is next.
They totally redeemed themselves with Tombstone. Quite possibly the heaviest song that the band has ever made. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for saying that, but the reason...
Bring on the fucking hate so we can talk about the fucking hate. Where are you fucking haters at? We haven't had any haters in the comments. Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on.
Fuck,
My
I'm ready.
justification for that comment, though, is this is a different style of heavy than what we heard, say, on Blueprints. This is Slayer-style riffing in this song, and it makes it sound so much heavier than some of the older stuff. It's even got a very traditional style of just thrash riffing all the way throughout. It's a heavy fucking song.
Love it. It's got a very ominous opening into that drum march. You know shit's about to go down, and it does. It's full throttle. It's in your face aggression. I love the lyric. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. Into the solo and the breakdown section to end the track. This is Wage War, and this is the Wage War I prefer. I was lucky enough to catch them debut this song live at Rockville. I ran my ass to that stage. I heard like 3 songs. This is one of the 3 fucking songs I heard, and it's an absolute standout on the album.
I agree. Happy Hunting, to me, is another standout on the album.
Yeah.
This is another weird one, but I dig it. There is a part towards the beginning where it almost sounds like a Billie Eilish song.
Billie Eilish? I was thinking 9 Inch Nails.
Well, it starts Billie Eilish before it gets into 9 Inch Nails.
Okay.
It's very short-lived, but there's that really like whispered part where it's got Billie Eilish written all over it. And then it gets super industrial after that. And then the guitar tone definitely makes you think of classic 9 Inch Nails. Specifically like Broken, like we just spoke about on the podcast a few episodes ago.
You're talking about Wish? Because this reminded me of Wish. Like,
Well, yeah, but Wish was from the album Broken.
I know
yeah.
it was, yeah. Got such an industrial feel to the song. But then there's times where it feels like something Power Man 5000 would do. They're really leaning into the electronic stuff, but it works here. This one was definitely get the crowd bouncing.
Yeah, so the next song is Hellbent.
Yeah.
And this is one of the...
Yeah,
it's one of those songs. This could literally be a country song.
It's got a weird fucking... I don't know what you call that. Like, it is like a country rock vibe.
Right,
at the beginning, especially.
All it would take would be to just change the distortion on the guitars, and this would be a country song. It also has, in my opinion, some of the most uninteresting lyrics because it says, the only enemy is the enemy. The only enemy is the enemy. The only enemy is the enemy. Don't let the enemy become the end of me.
It's just...
It's kind of lame. And like I said, it's basically a country song. Definitely not one of my favorites.
It's like country rock. It's weird. I'm not a fan.
They're trying to follow in that Beartooth
Jelly Roll.
So the next song is In My Blood.
Yes.
This
There we
song's
go.
pretty good.
Pretty
I'm not
good.
quite sure what to make of it.
This song grew on me.
It's very different from anything the band's ever done.
This shit is cool as fuck. I like the part where he's talking about the devil. You all know that song, "The Devil Went Down to Georgia,"
I like the devil.
and he says,
That's my dude.
and he says the lyric, "There's a reason he's in Georgia, and not in the swamp." And you get this little breakdown with all kinds of swamp bug noises. We're from Central Florida. I'm from the fucking country. I know what this shit sounds like. Really cool shit. It's very different. There's a gang chanting chorus of "In My Blood." Another one built for the live crowd. I love this song. "In My Blood's a standout.
Dude, I don't know how I missed those lyrics. Like, I've listened to this no less than 8, 9 times.
I'm probably close to that now.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know about the lyrics about the devil in Georgia. Like that changes the song for me a little
Devil
bit.
went to Georgia, or something about the devil, and then there's a reason he's in Georgia and not in the swamp. And
I
then
like that.
boom, breakdown right into this shit.
I
It's
like
cool
that.
shit.
So they close this one with, "Is this how it ends?"
It is.
And man, I wish this was not how it ended.
Yeah, same.
This song really just doesn't do it for me. It's not bad, but I think it's lackluster as a closer, and it's definitely not one that I would seek out to listen to on my own.
Yeah, lyrically, we have another ballad type of track here. It's a pretty big feel to the end of the album, but the song hasn't clicked with me yet. And I've listened to this album, as Jason mentioned, probably close to 8 or 9 times by now. It's just a very meh song. I don't know. It's just there. It's just a closer.
Kind of mid.
Mid, but it's the closer. It sits in your home happy, and it just doesn't. They seem to be leaning into more of electronic sound with the radio-friendly kind of accessibility with a lot of this album. Some of it works. Some of it's a bit of a miss for me, though. It's a very catchy and clean produced album. There's still big breakdowns. There's some cool riffs, lots of energy, but the lyrics also don't cut as deep this time. It seems to be an album mainly built to hype the live crowd, and that's okay. It's another solid album in the evolution of Wage War, and I give Stigma a 5 out of 6.
All right. Yeah, overall, this is a weird one to try to put a rating on. A lot of this modern production just doesn't really work well for my old man ears. I'd honestly rather hear these songs with a more raw delivery like the older stuff. However, these dudes are not stupid. They know exactly what's popping off right now, and they're serving it up to you on a silver platter. This is the sound of modern metalcore.
Yeah.
Like it or not, I'm conflicted. Because of the production, I think there are times when the guitars just don't have the punch that they used to have, and that makes me a little bit sad, to be honest. The auto-tune vocals are not my favorite either, but it does bother me a little bit less because I know these dudes can deliver it live.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the songwriting here is pretty impressive, and there are a few pretty innovative moments. But I don't think this is a cohesive album that flows well like Manic did. But obviously, I like it because I keep listening to it over and over since it came out.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So my opinion could change once the new wears off. But as of right now, I'm giving this one a 4.5 out of 6.
Nice, a 4.5.